What's up everybody, Lukiko here. I thought I'd make a starter guide on how to play a more aggressive roaming Valkyrie. I'd like to show you a few camera placements, how to prep them, and how to use them. Most Valkyrie players place all three cameras very close to sight, where I feel they're not really all that useful until the last moments of the round, or when you've already lost the sight and now you need to retake it. I prefer to use the cameras to enable extremely aggressive gameplay and early picks into the round. On most of the maps, you'll notice that a good chunk of the round is actually spent outside the building by the attacking team. I don't want the enemy to feel safe anywhere outside. I want them to waste time. I want them to make mistakes. I want them focused on the wrong things in the wrong windows. Very aggressive gameplay or peaks early on in the rounds and the game can completely shake your enemy's confidence and their morale. Getting an early pick on the enemy team will often cause them to waste even more time trying to get inside the building now that they're playing a 4v5 and paranoid about the next peek. Let's start with Cafe. Cafe is one of my favorite maps to play with Valkyrie. There are excellent places to throw cameras on almost all sides of the map that will allow you to nearly dominate control of the east, south, and west sides of the building. These spots are also viable locations no matter what game mode you're playing or where the defending side is located. These cameras are best used with aggressive vaulting peeks from outside windows. It's also to our advantage that each side of the building has multiple windows to jump from and windows and doors to run back into to make quick our escape back into safety. You'll want to prep all the windows by hitting them twice at the bottom. This will enable us to vault out quickly when needed to escape, kill, or flank. Next, throw a camera to the south, the east, and possibly the southwest. I often like to skip the southwest and save a camera for later in the round to replace a destroyed camera, gather last second intel before I make a play, or use it when I'm retreating. Some of these cameras are easy to see, but you'd be surprised how often they're not shot as long as you don't make it so obvious you've thrown one. They can also be a way of testing the enemy's skill, awareness, and game knowledge by seeing if they shoot your cameras in the first place. Minimizing time on the camera in the early seconds of the round when they're the most vulnerable is also a plus. Killing an enemy with such an aggressive move can often encourage enemies to come investigate, which often enables a second kill through the same window, or they may chase you inside. This is where that saved camera can really come in handy. I also like to prep train floor by shooting a hole in the prep phase, where I can later throw a camera through the floor to the third floor ceiling. If nobody comes south or east and they make a fast play for third floor, I can throw my camera here through the floor for intel and possibly enable a C4 kill from below as well. Don't be afraid to throw multiple cameras in the same spot. The enemy is more likely to assume they're safe and they've got all your cameras if they shoot one close to where you've placed another. Be patient and wait for the right time to peek. The right time to peek is when you can be reasonably sure you'll get a kill or two and survive. Often, it may be worth it to engage 3 or more players if you can take out at least 2 enemies or critical operators that would severely hinder their ability to breach your defending location. Also, keep in mind that an enemy who starts to repel is unable to shoot for about 2 seconds. They are often going to be shooting at odd angles that will hinder their ability to aim, and another important piece of information is that you cannot shoot at 90-degree angles when repelling or vaulting. The game will only let you turn about 80 to 85 degrees. This can make it impossible to be even shot back at. Another favorite spot of mine is on Favela. From here, you can throw a camera onto the top of the satellite dish and see all 3 spawn points including all of the rooftops except for a bit of the north. This camera can be a little bit tricky to place, so you need to make sure you throw it to the northwest side of the pole where the satellite dish will be blocking your view. The purpose of this camera here is to enable constant awareness of enemy movement on the rooftops, soccer field, and where people might be repelling. If you're fast enough, you can actually throw the camera and get back inside without being detected. It's best not to shoot out the door as to give anyone who might be shooting from the east rooftops less of a reason to be looking at you. I like to use this spot to kill anyone on rooftops, down on the soccer field, or anyone repelling by the soccer field. If you're crazy enough, you can also use this camera to meet the enemy outside if they rush to the roof in groups of 2 or more. Kill critical operators and it's absolutely worth it. They will also be less inclined to rush the rooftops or even stay away from it altogether. The best spot to position yourself is slightly down the steps, just enough to keep your head out of sight and stick to the right side of the wall. From here, you cannot be shot by anyone on the roof. It allows you to quickly vault out the window and kill anyone on the roof, retreat back to your position, and get back on the cam for additional intel. As always, killing an enemy here is likely to cause other people to investigate or chase you down. However, with the camera on our side, we have the better intel and can turn this into another kill. The next spot I want to show you is on Consulate in the console office. The camera allows you to see both the south and west sides of the building. You can place the camera higher or lower depending on how much visibility you need and how well you want to hide the camera. The other team usually expects someone to play this window and will always be cautious of it. However, with the camera we throw, we can still manage to outplay them by having the better intel. We can improve our chances of landing a C4 kill by knowing where the enemy is and whether they've grouped. We also know when someone is looking at the window or not, so we know when we can walk to the window and peek, jump down and flank, or jump on the desk and look down for a better angle. Another interesting tactic I like to use is vaulting out the window to kill in repellers and escaping back into the building through the garage. You can also prep the garage early by shooting it out. It may also serve as a distraction to peek an enemy while he's staring at it. The last spot I want to show you for now is on Hereford. There are many cool and better hiding spots outside on Hereford that provide similar vision, but I found the trees themselves to be the best spots. They can be really hard to see even if they know they're there, and especially at day. If the opposing team starts looking for them early on, it can also allow you to quickly peek and kill them while their back is turned staring up at a tree. Rip down the outside door to the second floor stairs and throw a camera in the north and east trees. This goes back to the rule about throwing multiple cameras in the same spot. I like to C4 the wall to the tub room and rip down the window there as well. This allows me to quickly transition between both the window and the door. If someone is staring at the door, zoomed in, especially with an ACOG, I can swiftly move to the window, peek them, and they'll never even see me. Remember the tip about saving a camera? I especially like it on Hereford base where I need to flank from a window to gather last minute intel. With the camera, I'll have some idea of what I'm about to get into, where I need to look, and when the best time to jump is. The great thing about this map is that there are many windows and trees on all sides. You can throw cameras in any direction in any tree or on any surface. I prefer to throw my cameras from windows that I don't vault from, so I can best surprise the enemy from an unbroken window and increase my chances of getting the kill. Thank you everyone for watching. I thought I'd keep this short just to see if this is something people would be interested in seeing more of. If it is, please let me know, and I'd love to show you more awesome spots for Valkyrie's cameras.